Currently, most Americans received CARES-led federal stimulus checks in March to help consumers weather the economic downturn caused by the coronavirus pandemic. 3 months later, the recession was declared an official recession and the official unemployment rate climbed to double digits, intensifying calls for a second round of stimulus checks. There is good and bad news about the prospects for further government assistance. The proposed $3 trillion in Emergency Health and Economic Recovery Solutions, or HEROES, would authorize a new round of stimulus payments for most American households. Although the bill was passed by the Democratic-controlled House last month, it still has to go through the Republican-controlled Senate. Still, there are signs that the White House could get additional stimulus funding, with the Wall Street Journal reporting that the administration is working on its own plan. At a press conference in June to discuss unemployment, President Donald Trump said his administration would ask for additional stimulus funds, while economic advisor Kevin Hassett told the Journal shortly after the odds from another stimulus plan were very, very high. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin said on Thursday that the administration was seriously considering a second round of stimulus checks, according to the Wall Street Journal. To be sure, it is not clear whether the HEROES law will pass the Senate examination, or what its final content might be. But here's what the Americans might consider if the bill were passed. The HERO law provides a larger stimulus payment than the Coronavirus Aid, Rescue and Economic Security Act. Under the new legislation, each member of a household would receive $1,200, including children. The income thresholds would remain the same, which means that single taxpayers earning less than $75,000 and married taxpayers earning a total of $150,000 would receive full payments. For example, a family of 4 whose parents earn less than $150,000 would receive $4,800. HEROES would cap total payments at $6,000 per family. Under CARES, a family of 4 whose parents earn less than $150,000 combined received $3,400 because this law provided for $500 for each child under the age of 17. To see how much you would receive under the HERO Act, you can consult this stimulus calculator from Omni Calculator. A criticism of CARES stimulus payments concerns their restrictions on older teens and students. Only dependents under the age of 17 were eligible for payments of $500, which excluded many junior and senior high school students. Payments also excluded students who were considered parents' tax dependents. HEROES expands its reach to include all dependents, which means that older teens and students would be eligible for payments of $1,200 per person. CARES has also fired fire for the exclusion of many immigrants, including those who are legally in the United States. Only immigrants with green cards were allowed to receive stimulus money, which excludes millions of immigrants who pay taxes but do not qualify for a green card. The law also excluded Americans married to immigrants without a green card, an exclusion that triggered lawsuits for discrimination against them and the refusal to pay their American children. HEROES would only require that a taxpayer have a tax identification number, a number used by immigrants to pay taxes, rather than a social security number, as CARES required. Some say that Americans need more help, while others think it is better to wait to see if the economy recovers as businesses begin to reopen and rehire. Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont, who, along with Democratic Senators Kamala Harris of California and Ed Markey of Massachusetts, introduced a bill providing for $2,000 a month for each American resident until the coronavirus crisis subsides, part of supporters of increased payments. In the meantime, it is clear that most households in the country have suffered an economic blow from the pandemic. According to a recent Betterment survey, around 54% of consumers said their income was affected by the COVID-19 crisis.